Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about range of motion around lat pull downs. Now, I just had a guy named Jim Worth in the comments. He just asked me, oh wow, you're really struggling with those lat pull downs. What's wrong with you? And it's like, Jim, come on man, you've been around here for a long time. You should understand by now that the reason why I lat pull down the way I do is because that's what works. That's how I built this back, all right? So if you guys don't understand why I do what I'm doing, then feel free to check out the range of motion playlist, right? I talk about it at length. I have a video called The Secrets of Training Back, so make sure you check that out. So one of the big misconceptions around lat pull downs is that you have to touch your chest with the bar. Now, the first thing I want to say is that depending on how your grip is on the bar will change the range of motion drastically around the shoulder joint when it comes down to touching your chest with the bar, right? So say if you go wider, you don't have to come down as low in order for the bar to be as low. But if you're in a medium grip, you have to bring the elbows down much further. And if some of you have lats, and I'm sure some of you do because there's a lot of Gallantians out there, if you have lats, you'll notice that your tricep hits your lat. You can't actually even go any lower in some cases, right? Unless, of course, you wing the elbows out and then you rotate the bar down. And that's not what you want to do when it comes down to training back, right? We don't want to rotate the arms in. We don't want to be messing around with the internal rotator cuff muscles because you're trying to hit the lats, and the lats are a lot stronger than the internal rotator cuff muscles. So if you rely on your set to hit failure because of the internal rotator cuff muscles, you're not going to be ever hitting the lats hard enough, right? So here's the thing, everybody's going to be different when it comes down to the range of motion. Some people will find it ideal to touch their chest with the bar, depending on their grip, right? Wide or narrow. But some people find it ideal to touch their chest with the bar when it comes to getting a good pump in the lats for lat pull downs, while other people, it will prevent them from building a back. Because what they'll do in order to come down, because of the way they're built, they'll start to rotate the arms in order to get that bar to touch the chest, and they'll start to rotate the upper spine in order to do this. And if they just use their lats, they'll only really get down to this range of motion, which is the hands in alignment with the chin or around that area. So if they come down lower, they're going to have to rotate the bar down or whatever, and that's going to be counterproductive. It's not going to help them build a back. If anything, it might flare up the rotator cuff, and then one day they have shoulder issues and they're wondering why their shoulders are basically getting flared up or they're having some sort of issue with their rotator cuff. My point is with lat pull downs, it's all about joint angles and about what muscle you feel is hitting failure. And when I used to lat pull down all the way down when I was really young, I noticed that I just was never getting that back pump that I wanted. I was never really getting the back development. It was only once I started to pull down with the strategic range of motion and focus more on retracting the shoulder blades as much as possible rather than just not retracting the shoulder blades and pulling the bar down as far as I could, that I started to build a back, right? So if I don't retract the shoulder blades and I just pull the bar down, yeah, I can come down really far, but I'm not actually engaging the lats. I'm engaging the rotator cuff muscles, and I'm not even engaging the shoulder blades or the muscles that have to do with retraction of the shoulder blades. So I'll never build a back that way, which is why you see a lot of guys with nice rear delts and biceps running around with absolutely no back. It's like they disappear. As soon as they turn around and do a lat spread, no matter how many like fancy Gymshark tank tops they're wearing or whatever, they still look like they have no back. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is that retracting the shoulder blades and pulling the elbows down where you can keep the forearms straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor, and not engage any sort of rotation around the joint, that's where you're going to hit the most amount of back, and that's what I do. And again, you're going to have to play around with this for your own individual needs, but I don't have any problem with the way I do a lat pull down. The way I do a lat pull down is the perfect range of motion for me to get the most amount of back development, which is why I do it the way I do it. It's not because I have some sort of shoulder issue or because I'm disabled somehow, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Jim, like, come on, pay attention to what I'm saying in the videos, all right? That's all I'm asking, just pay attention. Watch the videos and pay a frickin' attention. Mountain. So if you guys need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks a lot to the patrons and supporters, and take care for now.